Hi, I'm Jason McAteer and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Hello, welcome to Redmen TV. Liverpool return to Wembley for another League Cup final. This Sunday we're here with a League Cup final special version of the Uncensored Match Build-Up Show. Chris Pajak is back. Yes. Ste Hoare is also back. Yes. Aubrey Reynolds is still here, as am I. Yes, so let's get stuck straight into it. First and foremost, Chris, how excited are you now that you've secured your tickets to be heading back to
Much
Wembley?
more excited than I was before I got the ticket. I'm buzzing, mate. It seemed so far away for so long, and now that it's only a couple of days out, I just can't wait for it, man. It's just such a big game for Liverpool, such a big game for this side, and hopefully it'll be the start of winning trophies on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely. There's something about it, isn't it? And we always say it's that this club exists to play in finals and to win trophies, and it shouldn't be underestimated. And yeah, you know, the League Cup historically is Liverpool's competition, fair play, but we as fans don't necessarily rate it that high. But when you get to a final, it's a fucking final.
Wembley's boss as well, and being in cup finals a boss. Cardiff's better, but Wembley's great. And yeah, that's what's the point? What would you rather be doing this weekend? Would you rather be playing a league game, or would you rather be in a cup final?
Yeah,
rather be in a cup final and go and win it. And like I say, it's other teams in the past with a new manager have used the Carling Cup or the whatever Capital One Cup now to almost kickstart the career. So City done it, didn't they? They won the FA Cup as well, but they won a Carling Cup recently. Yeah. Mourinho, Chelsea, when they beat us.
Yeah.
He used to seek it out, Mourinho, didn't he?
It's just a way to kickstart things off. So it didn't really happen under Kenny when we won it because he didn't really get the chance to. But
well, it was basically ended our season, didn't it?
Yeah. So, but there's no harm in winning a trophy. Is there? For Klopp to come in straight away and the monkey on Brendan's back almost was, well, he hasn't won anything. He's never won anything. You know, obviously he come really, really close, but he didn't win. But now for Klopp to come in and win a cup straight away, it just eradicates that completely. So even if it takes 2 years to turn things around, which it could do because we're in a bit of a mess, that isn't hanging over him. Obviously his track record helps that, and stuff like that. He gets a bit more time, but if you want to be a Liverpool manager, you have to win things. Yeah. It's as simple as that.
I guess the big hope with this, Aubrey, is that it is exactly what Steve's sort of talking about there. This is the first step on something else. The big fear, and this is the thing that we carry with us as Liverpool fans after so many years of just disappointment. You fear that it's going to go the way it did under Dalglish, or the way it goes a lot of times for teams that win the League Cup, that they kind of go, hey, bit of silverware, fuck the rest of the season. You're hoping that we've got a great manager, and you hope that he goes, right, this good on you. We'll do this, and we'll go on to bigger things.
Yeah, and I think as fans we've got to remember it's not all about this season. So even if it does tail off after we win, let's say we win, we hope we win on Sunday, and it does tail off. He's learning a lot about the players, and that won't be a bad thing for him to learn who didn't give it their all, who did let it tail off, like the Dalglish year when it happened. But ultimately, the most important thing is for him to win something as soon as possible, because that just removes that. Now, he's not going to get beaten with the stick of he's never won anything that Rodgers had, because he has won stuff in Germany. But there's also the other stick, the stick that will start getting trotted out. He's never won anything in England, or his best days behind him. Liverpool haven't won something. You can put a marker down. It buys you possibly 2 seasons. As long as progress is made on the pitch, and that progress can be through the league.
I don't even necessarily think it's about Klopp. I don't think there's enough question marks over him at the moment. I think it's about the players in the squad.
Yeah.
I think it's about the players going out and winning something and getting that monkey off their back. I don't care about the manager. I trust the manager's going to win things for Liverpool. But it's these players. There's not enough winners in this squad at the moment. There's not enough players who've won cups, who've won leagues or anything like that. But getting them used to winning things, getting them understanding that they are good enough to go and win a trophy against a really fucking top side will do wonders for every single player in that squad.
They bottled it, didn't they, in the semi-final last year, and that's relatively in our minds. They went to Aston Villa, and whether they took it lightly,
of the FA Cup.
Of the FA Cup,
semi-final of the League Cup as well.
But we didn't get there, and that we need to rectify that, and those players need to get over that mental hurdle of not quite finishing the job.
You look at it as well, right? And say we don't win this game, right? Then there's going to be a clear out in the summer regardless, I think. But it'll make it a lot easier for who exactly what you said, who cracked under the pressure, who didn't crack under the pressure, who should I be looking to keep, who did really well under that. Even in the Europa League, we're going to be looking at that thinking, right, if we progress against Augsburg,
which we either have or haven't
Which
done.
we either have
All
or
you had
haven't
to do was
done.
not mention it.
Yeah,
I know. But it matters. It's a point that needs to be made, isn't it? You know, these players need to learn how to win things, and he needs to know who to trust and who he can trust.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, completely agree on that. And I think this is the thing, isn't it? That it's exactly what you were saying there, Chris. That's in isolation. You can go, oh, the League Cup's the League Cup, whatever. Oh, and you get a first round Europa League qualifying place off it, or whatever. Unimportant. It's that fact is that cup final's a cup final. It's on the big stage. It's against, as you say, one of the top teams in the country with some of the best players in world football. There, putting players into that occasion. You know, it's a sink or swim kind of business we're in. You know, and I think that's a really good thing. We'll get back onto the game a little bit more in a minute. I want to know, we've won it 8 times. I want to know from the panel we have in here, what is your favourite final out of them? Anyone want to stay?
I went to 4. I've been to 4. Mm-hmm. We won 3 of them. Obviously, 2005 we lost when I went to that one. I really enjoyed 2003.
As we always call it, the forgotten final.
Yeah.
Because the roof was on, for a start.
Oh, shit, yeah.
And I hadn't been. I went to the FA Cup final a bit later on. Well, sorry, in 2001, and the roof was open then, but it was different. It was boss, and I enjoyed it. And beating Man United is great, isn't it? And it was a weird game because we took a lead just before half-time, then we Gerrard's deflection off, I think it was Beckham, and went in. And then United were all over us, really, but Dudek was just pulling save after save, and then it ended with, you know, another Michael Owen breakaway goal that we reminiscent to 2 years before. And I thought we were a decent team in 2003. Obviously, things never progressed how I thought it would. But yeah, anytime you beat Man United in a cup final, it's decent, and it's the only one that I've been to where we have.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my favourite one.
That was when I was in a pub. I was in uni at the time, and I was in a pub in Sheffield. It's like in a pub full of Mancs screaming my head off, shouting at the screen, stuff like that. It's fucking amazing. That is, and I think that gets forgotten, Chris, because that was really the easiest cup final win I think we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think it was. I mean, my favourite one is looking back retrospectively, and I go Birmingham in 2001, and the reason is, you know, it was a tough fought final, and you know, Birmingham did well and pushed us to the end, but that for me started a golden period of being a Liverpool fan, because that was the beginning of the treble winning season first and foremost. You know, we started getting to finals more often. We won. I think Istanbul was in large part down to that squad winning the treble and stuff in 2001. So for me, looking back at it, as I've been a Liverpool fan, that was probably the most important, and therefore the one that I've enjoyed retrospectively.
Yeah, absolutely. Aubrey?
Yeah, mine was 2003 because it's the only League Cup final I've been to. Went to that with my granddad. It was a great day. Also, it's one of the ones that we actually did. We didn't do it in extra time. Like the amount of League Cup finals that have gone.
You're right. The Man United had moments in the game, but by and large, you turn up, you fucking score a couple of goals, and you get off it. You know what I mean? It was. You know, there was no exceptional drama, which we've come.
Wasn't really a Liverpool final, was
No,
it?
no,
it was the antithesis of a Liverpool
but
final.
Look at 2001. You know, the Worthing Cup final goes to penalties. The FA Cup final needs 2 Michael Owen goals and 7 Stefan Oncho balls to get us across the line.
We scored 17 goals in the UEFA Cup final.
Yeah, and we needed a golden goal to win the UEFA Cup final. Then you turn up a couple of years later at the Williams Stadium with just the trophy. Go on, fantastic.
And Cardiff's boss.
Cardiff is
amazing.
Which makes stadiums fantastic.
Which made it better than... I enjoyed the last one, you know, Cardiff again, funny enough, on penalties. But I think when we're the favourites in a cup final, I enjoy it less because I expect us to win. And like, what's the way? The best that can happen is, oh yeah, we beat Cardiff, or yeah, we beat Birmingham. But if you lose, you feel shit, gutted. But to beat Man United in a cup final, you know, with they had, you know, the team they had out that day, you know, Beckham and Van Nistelrooy up front and stuff like that. They were a great side.
Well, that's a team that beat us for fun in that era.
In the league,
constantly. Every time you get your hopes up, Man United are just twat us everywhere.
So being the underdog, I think I more enjoy it. I think, and which bodes on, you know, on the weekend. I think although City are patchy, we're still the underdogs for Sunday. So
well, we always, you know, it's funny. I always have this conversation with my dad, and it's the difference between my Liverpool and his Liverpool, as it were, is that I'm used to Liverpool being the underdog and succeeding in the face of extreme odds. And he doesn't get that because he's used to us being the best and just beating people. And you're exactly right, isn't that? Whenever we
Is he coming round to your way of thinking?
yeah, he's had no choice. But you know, I think that's one of those things over the years that whenever we are expected to win a final, they're the ones that we struggle the most in. Again, come back to it. Again, going back to Birmingham, Alaves, West Ham in the these are the ones where you think, oh well, Liverpool, should we win in this? Great. You'd actually almost kind of look forward to the games where we get to, be a bit nasty, play on the edge a little bit. Like, okay, the Chelsea Cup final actually blows that one out the window a little bit.
But even then, that was just a weird game. That one, even Villa in the semi-final were expected to win. So maybe it is just maybe it's from a fan psychology for us. Yeah. I think you're more into the game. I mean, you're at a final, so you're always into it, and you're usually bladdered. But I think you get a little bit more invested in it when you know that the players need you more when you're playing a good team. That's it, isn't it?
That Aston Villa's a perfect example of that.
Flat as
their fans turned up ready to support their team. We almost turned up expecting to go through to the final, and I can't.
Yeah,
and because of that, I think Liverpool fans did have some effect on that football match, and I think Aston Villa fans certainly did.
The atmosphere was fucking pathetic in that game as well. Like, and how much we were next to the lads who were just like the negativity of like calling players cunts, and you're like, no. I mean, look, it's a cup game. People are out. We're there for like, oh, it's a bit of a day out. We'll be back here in a bit anyway. We'll do it properly next time we're here. But yeah, no, you're right. But on the favourite final, I agree with Chris. Like I said, that was the only League Cup final I've been to was 2001, and that was one where I had a ticket on my own. I got on a coach, by Stanley Park with a bunch of people I didn't know, all the way down there. And I'd have been 17, I think, at the time. And went to Cardiff on me Todd, walked around, got a pint, went to the game, was in there like 3 hours before kick-off, watching all the festivities on the pitch beforehand, and then all the way through to the penalties and fucking jumping up and down, hugging random strangers and stuff.
You'd think Wales, when people say it's in Wales, you think it'd be close, wouldn't you?
It's fucking miles away. Cardiff is impossible to get to. Yeah. The FA Cup final that year, I went with my dad for that one, and like the trains they put on for that, they literally wheeled out Thomas the Tank Engine. It was like the prototype steam engine train that they put out there.
That bridge doesn't matter. You want to get off and swim. You're stuck on that bridge for ages. So at least London's easier to get to, funnily enough, for Sunday.
Yeah, but 2001, everything about that was like, you're right, Chris. It set the tone for what was to come after it, and in terms of just the memories, and I keep coming back to it, like that the penalty shootout, and like Didier Man, everyone knew he was it down the middle, he did, and then Carragher steps up, and you're like, oh no, we fucking lost this. Jamie Carragher, what the fuck's Jamie Carragher? Sticks it in the fucking top corner. Jamie Carragher.
I remember 2012, the pen shootout, and Gerrard and Charlie Adamar, probably our best two pen takers, both missed. And then it was Downing. Cout, I thought Cout would score, because Cout always scored pens pretty much. But then 4th and 5th was Downing and Glenn Johnson. And you see them walking up and you're thinking,
there's absolutely no confidence here.
11 players and these two, really? And they just slot them away to a piece of piss. And it's those type of things where you just think, sometimes they always say, your name's on it and stuff, but if you think
when Downing scoring a penalty, it really
that's
is.
All, but if you think of like, and coming up to Sunday, thinking about it, it's cool heads in difficult situations, and whatever you say about Downing and Johnson for the negatives, because there was plenty. One of the positives about both of them was they never seemed flustered. Sometimes they seemed like they weren't arsed, which is probably the antithesis of it. But you need cool heads, and I think when we played Villa in the semi last year, we didn't have cool heads. It was all a bit frantic.
I thought everything was flat.
Yeah, it was just a bit like, you need a bit of a kick up the arse, and I'm hoping that a new manager does, because I think everyone was getting a bit annoyed at Rodgers. So I think Klopp's first final, the fans will be up for it, and I think that, like I said before, the players, they're not stupid. They know I reckon there's about 4 players in the Liverpool first team who are guaranteed to be here next season, like absolutely nailed on. There's 6 or 7 of them who aren't, and they need to show the manager now, we can keep calm under pressure, but we can put fight in as well. Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see, like I say, which of the
even the players that you think are nailed on to be there next season, we need to start getting more out of them, and they need to step up in big games as well. I'll name check Coutinho now. Since he's come back from injury, he's looked really good and stuff, but what we need to see from him is that he can put it on a world stage like fucking David Silva can. You know what I mean? And you need, because ultimately we need goals in this side, and he's in one of the positions that is expected to get goals, so we need to step up in a final and get a goal for me. Like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm actually not worried about him, because you don't worry about Coutinho in the big games. Coutinho turns up in the big games.
And it's Man City.
It's actually exactly, and it's Man City. True. He's the exact opposite of a flat track bully. Coutinho, isn't he? Never produces against teams that he's meant to produce against, but seems to rock up. Yeah, but he rocks up against your Chelseas and your Cities and all that. Like, but you're dead right. Everyone needs to look at this and go. I hope the mentality's right on it, and I hope it is very much like, this is great. We deserve to be here. We're going to go out here and prove our way. We're going to go out and do the business. And then you know what? We're going to put it in the fucking cabinet. We're going to fucking lock it, and we're going to go and get on with the next game, because ultimately, it's great to win it, but we shouldn't be. We're in that weird situation because we're sat here one hand going, it's really important that Liverpool win this piece of silverware. But once it's won, it should go back to being what it is. It's nice to win that trophy, but we should be setting our eyes on bigger things. We should be looking to get ourselves up the table. And yes, as mentioned earlier on the show, dependent on how the Thursday game against Augsburg go, there might be a Europa League consideration as well. But yeah, I absolutely agree on that. So I want to know, I've got a question for you, rather. How many different names has the League Cup had in its time?
6.
Okay.
I know.
There's
If I work
Milk.
backwards.
I don't know. I always ask this question. Did the Milkmen get together?
Yeah.
And like, let's
You
all
just did a whip
sponsor the
round.
cup, lads. Come on.
They put all the Christmas tip money that milkmen get in a big thing and bought it.
Yeah, they had those the caps with like the letters on that used to spell a word, and there was ones that they sold a few of them off and then bought the
Right, I know we
Milk.
won it in '95 and it was the Coca-Cola.
Milk, Rumbelows,
I wouldn't have got that one.
Yeah.
Worthington, Coca-Cola,
Capital One.
Capital One,
Carlin.
and Carlin, 6.
Is that it? Is there 6 or is there one more?
8.
Wow.
I wouldn't have got
Wow.
Rumble. I mean, I don't even know what that means.
You just made a noise there.
There's the one that's a pseudo trick, I guess, is that it's the Football League Cup, because it was just had its name originally before it was sponsored. There's one more sponsor.
Was there something to do with the pools or Littlewoods or something
Oh,
like that?
he's got it! Mr. Chris Pajak pulls the Littlewoods Cup out of the bag there.
Have that.
There you go, in your fucking face.
Where did
People who
that come?
doubted him.
Where did that come in the order?
That came between Milk and Rumbelows.
Yeah, I think I remember the ones that
Which is your favourite of the names?
Milk,
Coca-Cola.
obviously.
Coca-Cola.
Milk?
Yeah, well, of course.
Coca-Cola?
Coca-Cola, man. I was 13. Loved Coca-Cola then.
Yeah, absolutely. You know what the best thing about the Coca-Cola
I'm just Steve
Cup?
McMahon.
Yeah, of course.
Alliteration's cool as well.
Alliteration's amazing. The Stanley World of Cup naming. The coolest thing about the Coca-Cola Cup was when the big fixtures in the newspaper adverts prior to it, you'd have team-coloured Coke cans against each other. So like if Man United were playing away, it had that mad like green.
So did we have a red one?
So we had a red one.
Whoa, red Coca-Cola can. Are you fucking kidding me? What the fuck is going on? Mind fucking blown.
I
And
can't-
so's the audio.
I can't imagine what that would even
So-
look
so-
like. Could you
And
imagine
people
it?
at home.
No, can't even imagine it.
It's crazy. It's crazy
I've
shit,
seen,
isn't it?
I've been obviously in the build for the website doing some stuff on the Milk Cup, and there's pictures of Liverpool players standing posing next to giant bottles of milk. Bruce Grobbelaar's got a giant bottle of milk in goal, and he's just leaning on it, and he's got like a fedora type hat on. He's just leaning,
Nice.
and he's just leaning on a big giant bottle of milk. And I was thinking, you wouldn't get that nowadays.
It doesn't get more 80s than that, does it?
You're not getting that now, are you? You know what I mean? You're not going to get a
Milk.
You're not, you're going to get milk. You're not going to get giant bottles of milk for a start. And no one even uses a milkman anymore. So there's. But you're not going to get this final. You're not going to get Vincent Kompany leaning on a giant credit card. Maybe you are, but in the goal
I think you would,
with a fedora hat on.
Not with a fedora hat.
And it's not milk, is it?
No,
It'd probably be like some sort of skills video around a fucking giant credit card or something, wouldn't it? Like, you know what I mean? Or a prank.
Definitely a prank.
A
Yeah.
prank.
Where you've got, I mean, it's prescribed a
Literally
fedora.
imagine that. It'd be like these days. It'd be like the fucking Royal Mail sponsoring the cup. You know what I mean? Like the 4 people that are still left employed by that company. Yeah. Never going to happen. Never going to happen. Okay, so I just know people's favourites on that. I think it's a general thing.
The Post Office League Cup.
I love that.
The Rumbelows is my
What's
favourite.
Rumbelows? Sorry, I don't know what it is.
It was like Curry's or Comet, basically.
Right, okay.
But it was much like Comet.
It's gone.
It went the way of the dodo.
Yeah,
like.
no, not all.
I like
It's
it
kind of
just because
made for Sports Direct, the League Cup, isn't it, really?
Absolutely.
It is actually made for them to sponsor it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Mike Ashley's
The
paying
winners get like Lonsdale trainees and t-shirts with winners and caps and all that, and they've got like those fluorescent like tags saying reduced on them and stuff like that. They've literally just walked into the fucking shop, fucking grabbed a load,
I think what we should do with it being the Capital One Cup is like that NFL thing where, you know, where like Peyton Manning after the thing, he said, I'm going to go and drink a load of Budweiser. Well, you get like fucking whoever it is, Daniel Sturridge, if we win the cup, comes on afterwards. I'm going to go and spend loads of money on my credit card in this shop here, like full on Americanise it, fucking brilliant.
Well, I don't know who I was having this conversation with, but could the League Cup and the League Cup final be improved by just going full American on it?
Yeah.
I think someone said this to me about the FA Cup final because they were saying like there should be a half-time. The half-time should be improved.
Should have a half-time show.
Because it's the fucking band, and I know everyone loves a bit of tradition and all that, like, but it's a bit shit, isn't it? And I was saying, no, fuck it, League Cup is your testing ground. Because apparently they've done this in the past. I think 2012 they were playing like AC/DC and fucking fireworks and all that kind of stuff.
2005. I remember getting in there. I was bladdered. And next minute, there was all fire coming off the floor. I mean, I might
sure you were pissed?
I was going to say I might be dreaming this, but I'm sure as the players come out in 2005, there was music blaring, and there was all fire coming out of the floor and stuff. It was a bit mad.
So I think, because we wanted to blow it up, but I think we do it within the framework of the League Cup. So it should be like a half-time show, and it should be massive, but it should be League Cup size. So you shouldn't get Metallica. You should have Nickelback doing a half-time show with some pyrotechnics.
It's a bunch of Butland's Redcoats, isn't it? Just doing
Yeah,
like an average,
definitely.
like Punton's Redcoat review or whatever. You know, they come out and just do a bloody
diversity. Maybe do a little bit of a thing.
I'd go the opposite way. I'd go massive, like make it, because the League Cup's crap. Let's try and promote it. Let's just get like
We got McCartney.
Let's just pay all. Let's just pay all the money.
The fucking Stones.
Get Beyonce on there. What am I coming all for? It's a big cup final. Oh, honestly, love.
Yeah, it's huge. They'll love you.
Everyone's
Bring
watching.
your Black Panthers, don't
It'd
worry.
be like, but again,
Everyone's watching.
What would be the what would be the British equivalent of doing the Super Bowl for it? What are the most British things we could do? I know they have British acts over on the Super Bowl, but fuck that. Like Ellie Goulding,
No.
front and centre.
It's gonna
Michael
be like a
McIntyre
fucking,
compared.
it's gonna be a fucking X Factor half-time show, which would be shit. Because that's what we do.
The dog that won Britain's Got Talent gets on.
Pudgy's jumping through rings of fire.
Oh, that would be good. No, a dog show like a really like a
Ruffs.
a daredevil version of Crufts.
And fucking Chelsea Flower Show or something at half-time.
No, but
There's a lovely garden with a waterfall. Anyone like a cup of tea?
The Great British Bake Off
Yeah.
at half time.
Ah, yeah.
So they have like
And they give us
Klopp
fucking
bakes Klopp bakes a
needles and we
pie.
get to sew and all this type of shit in the crowd. Why?
Morris
Celebrity,
dancing,
celebrity
tossing the
bake off in the centre circle. They come to the end of it and go, it's not enough baking time. I'm sorry. what can we do in 15 minutes?
You expect us to make a cake?
Here's a blancmange instead.
That could be brilliant,
proper
actually, yeah. You've got to bake something in 15 minutes. It's more like 10, because by the time they've walked out, they're just like, I'm just covered in flour. Love.
Oh,
It's
can we
just
do it like
ridiculous.
supermarket sweep style, where they have to go and get their fucking ingredients from running
There's
around the
nothing more
stadium?
British than that.
Yeah,
Dale
Dale
Winton.
Winton
Yeah.
presents
Full
some
tan.
sort of supermarket sweep half-time show with Fire and the dog Pudsey from Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, can the dog die?
No.
Oh, it's such a shame.
Oh.
He poses an interesting question, though.
Well, it
we're going to
could.
hand that over to... In fact, you know what?
If there was a pool in Ballymore, can the dog die?
I tell you what, look, there's polls now on YouTube. You can click the information bit, but should Pudsey the dog die
To make the
in our
League Cup
half-time League
better.
Cup final? Show spectacular. Click the little eye in the top corner of the screen. Just yes or no.
You
vote.
do
Go
realise
for it.
we are never ever sponsoring the League Cup final, the Redmen, if we get big enough. Because
We're
they're
not
gonna,
gonna get big
they're gonna,
enough.
they're
And
gonna
not if
dig,
the milkman can do it.
yeah, that's what I mean. If they're gonna dig this video out and go, no, these nutters can't sponsor it because look what they're planning at half time. Dog death.
We could save it. Listen, they're talking about giving the FA Cup the fucking Champions League place. They're finally having that sensible conversation. The League Cup's fucked. There's nothing you can do to fix the League Cup in terms of making it more desirable.
All he's done to make it slightly more interesting is put another handle on the cup. That's all. That's all he could think of.
Imagine how many meetings they had about that as well.
How can
What
we
can
make this
do?
different? We can free handles. Free handles.
Why? I don't know, but it looks cool.
What do you hold it with? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't
It
matter.
doesn't
Yeah.
matter. You can like spin in a circle around. I don't know what. Yeah, it's one of those. It's like literally like giving 15 godparents to your children, isn't it? Like, you mean, it's one of those things, like, it's the perfect situation for the vice captain to get involved as well. You know what I mean? Who's lifting this one? Captain, vice captain, and the vice at one. Come on, boys, all together now. Or John Terry to try and lift it with his cock as well, because he would. I think we should keep the suggestions coming in in the comments below. Exciting, but not too exciting, and distinctly British flavoured ways to spice up the League Cup.
I'm in.
T-shirt cannons?
No,
That's not that British.
American.
Yeah, it would have to be more lady giving out T-shirts.
Yeah.
And people have to queue up to
Like
get
the
them.
like the toffee lady, it'd be a woman just walking.
And you've got
two women a
and
bit
you've got,
ropey walking around throwing.
No, you've got to queue up. You've got to queue
Yeah,
up.
you've got to queue
She's
up.
not-
queue.
she's
You
not
want the
bringing them
banking
to you.
system queue
You
as
need
well.
some
You want to
queuing,
snake
yeah.
across the pitch.
With tape, like in the post office, you know, with those connections, you only want them.
So like in America, they'd have someone like parachuting onto the pitch, or someone like with those like jet packs or something.
Yeah, we just have a fella with a kite.
Get out a big kite.
He's turned up on the tube.
Could have a big kite.
He's got a tube, yeah.
Yeah.
I did like Eddie the Eagle coming down, build a ramp down from the top of Wembley
My kite's got a
across
bat on
the
it.
arch.
It's got a bat.
It's got a bat.
Yeah, it's going to be shaped like a bat, my kite. So that
Like a
way.
baseball bat.
No, like a bat. Lives
A
in the
bat.
dark bat. Hangs upside down bat. One of them bats. A Batman bat. Actually, a baseball bat would be cool.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Some sort of mascot. Can we have a League Cup final mascot?
Yeah, he's got to be about this big.
Okay, what's our
borrower? Can we have a borrower as a
League Cup
mascot?
final borrower mascot.
Yeah, I like that.
I think you've jumped the shark on this
No,
one.
no. Or a doll. Can we just have a doll?
A doll.
Cindy, was that the English one?
The shit Barbie.
Giant
we have a
Barbie.
Cindy doll as the mascot.
Steve. No.
Well, yeah, why not?
Too much. No, too much for me.
I'm happy with that.
I'm out.
I think it's unquintessentially British to have as a mascot. Maybe a giant. You know what? Every time you watch it on
Peach.
if you watch it on in America, and the trying to display, or we're in Britain, the first thing they show is a phone box, a taxi, and a bus.
You've been watching WWE. That's what they do. Every time they fucking do a show, Raw in England,
I was
there's a
thinking
fucking
more
phone
like-
box and a taxi
I've got
in the
it.
corner.
I've got it, right. Boris Johnson hanging from a rope from the arch.
I'm in.
With spinning blades of death underneath.
Oh, yeah.
And it's a clapometer. So if you want to generate the atmosphere,
Yeah.
get the claps going, and if you reach a certain number of decibels, Boris dies.
Oh my word.
I've done it.
Yeah.
You peaked too early. What did you do for the other 14.5 minutes of half time?
Get people clapping.
No, he's done, he's dead.
Oh,
that
we
why we
set
continue
we set-
clapping?
Yeah.
We set the bar. We set the bar high. You know what I mean? Maybe this guy's having a piss or going to get a pint. You want them like what? You can kill Boris. Fuck! Fuck the pints.
Covered in piss, just running out.
Just fucking cocked down the leg. Fucking, come on, get out there! Ray! Die, you bastard!
Brilliant.
There we go. I think we've smashed that.
Yeah. Well done.
So,
good think tank.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Should we go?
Steve,
Hello.
in the grand scheme of things,
Back to sensible. Oh, sensible. Okay.
how important is the League Cup to Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp?
Good question. Well done.
Have we done this at the top
Yeah,
of the
I'm
show?
buying time a bit, but no, I think for Klopp, it just again, he wants to be a Liverpool manager who wins something. You don't want to be one of the few who don't. So it's that monkey off the back straight away. I like Chris's point before, which I hadn't considered. You know, there's players there who need to win stuff. Coutinho, for as good a player as he is, never won anything. You know, stuff like that. And so yeah, it's not. Listen, it's not the be all and end all of a season. And if you lose a League Cup final, and then go on to have a good finish to the season, you think, you know what, fair enough. But it's more about the performance as well, because you don't want to go and get, Villa, we were just really poor. So if you turn up to a final and you play all right and your City just nick a goal or something, that can happen. But you don't want to turn up when on the big stage, as they say, and then just look flat and look down.
Yeah,
because I'm used to Liverpool winning big games.
Yeah.
Even from when I can remember, Liverpool used to win the big games, and recently we haven't won a big games. So cup semi-finals, we've lost, go to Besiktas in the Europa League, which is still a biggish game, and get beat on penalties, and we never lose on penalties. Stuff like that. So it's about time that we start winning the proper meaningful games again. And again, our finals, that's what's there for. It's to go and win. And so what's the point of putting all the effort in? All the effort we've put in, we played extra time in a semi to then lose. It's just, what's the point?
No,
Go
absolutely.
win it.
I think my kind of overall thinking on it, Chris, is that in the grand scheme of things, this should be considered like a footnote. We'll look back on this and go, great. Like hopefully the way we look back on the 2001 League Cup final, that we've gone on to bigger and better things, and this was just a starting point. But in the smaller scheme of things, as everything you've said already and everything Steve said, I think hopefully, yeah, as I've said there, this cup final becomes a building block to bigger success.
Well, it is. It's a stepping stone. That's what it should be, and that's what the League Cup, I think, has come down to now, the competition in itself. As far as Liverpool go right now, I think, as we've said, it's important for the players. It is important for Klopp, but you know, if we lose it, we lose it. I don't think anyone's going to really be losing a lot of sleep over it. It just would be nice to get this one in the bag. Like,
Aubrey, do you think that people expect us to get a result more out of this game because of how comprehensively we beat City earlier in the season?
I think, yeah, that in one help, that gives us, there's a blueprint there for how we can approach the game. In another one, it's kind of a negative, isn't it? Because it was a while ago now, and because we could comprehensively beat them, people think, well, we've done them once, we should do them. They're a good team. If they turn up, as you were saying before, we probably are the second favourites for it. We are the underdogs in this one, and even though they're not in the best form, it's a really strange situation, isn't it? Because I think if you could privately engineer a deal and you'd be like, right, okay, yous win on Sunday, yous can take the League Cup, but you get battered by us on Tuesday in the league and we shoot up further in the league, both teams would probably be happier with that. You know, if only one team's going to win either one of them, the Cup's more important to us than our League one. Yeah. The league for them, because they could still win the league. But they're never going to think that because they're footballers and they want to win things. They could easily give us a really tough game, but we do play better traditionally. Liverpool Football Club, my Liverpool Football Club, is against the bigger team, so I'm glad that we're actually playing the bigger team. I'd be more worried if it was a Cardiff, because this team's untested and Klopp's untested against the lower teams where you basically think you turn up and it's a formality. Who knows? They're really hard to predict. So it could be the same team that turned up against us, and we do their defence for pace with that intricate movement that we can do, can get round them, or they could really threaten us down the other end.
You know what's funny? I think City are a better version of us at the moment, because they're really fucking up and down, and they have been for a couple of years, like, and that's what we are at the moment. You know, we look great for spells of games, we look great for a couple of games here and there, and then we can look fucking turgid and dog shit.
Do you think it's naive of us though to expect it to be anything even remotely like the game at the Etihad?
I don't think it is. I think we're going to try and engineer it to be that way again. I think that's what the game plan will be, ultimately. I think what could be naive is to think that they're going to approach it in exactly the same way, but I think we will approach it in exactly the same way.
Their weaknesses, that day, you know, they had the two defenders out, weren't they? And Mangala played, and he had an absolute shocker with Di Michelis, I think. Yeah. So I imagine if the fit Company and Otamendi will probably start the final, you'd think. But then again, they've got, obviously, it is whatever day it is now. They've had a big game on Wednesday night, and the league game is bigger for them than the cup final is for them. Yeah. So it wouldn't be a huge surprise if he did rest one or two. So he says, you know what, Vinny, you've played 2 games in a week, you know, you're coming back from injury, you sit this one out. Yeah. But even if they do, we're going to play how we play, and they're going to, whoever they play, they still do the same thing, and the City always leave space in the way for a number 10. They just do. Because I like Fernando and I like Fernandinho, but for some reason they like pushing on quite high, and there's always space for that number 10, and we've got a team full of number 10s. That's who we are. We're just a team full of number 10s. So if that it's still going to be there, there's the opportunity for Coutinho and Firmino to, you know, obviously having come through Thursday unscathed, to work in those pockets of space with a fit Daniel Sturridge who also come through unscathed up front.
And hasn't been injured.
Yeah, hasn't been injured. Up front, their weaknesses in the City back line are there. It's just, you know, we've got to exploit them before they exploit, because we've got ours as well, and they've got fantastic players.
I think the big difference that we face in this game is that, okay, you know, City were the home side at the Etihad, so they definitely have that going for them. And Liverpool now have got that track record. Yeah, we went there, we did it, we played fearlessly, and we got the result. But as we've said already, and you've alluded to already, Chris, it's a final. They've got players who are so much more used to these kind of high-pressure situations. They've played more Champions League games, they've been in more finals already, they've won more pieces of silverware than this team have. And there's a fear that the weight of expectation actually is increased on our players, because they know they can do that, and it's almost like we've got to replicate that performance? If you
I think you've almost said Klopp's fucking speech to the players before the game. These have got, people think these are better players than you. They're fucking proven winners. Go out there and fucking prove that you're as good as them. That's what you've got to do. You've got to, I think you've got to use that and basically G up our team with that. And go, look,
my theory on City is that for as good as they are and they're really great, and I think there's a little bit of bottler in them. I still think every now and then you can City for a great team take a few hidings now and then. They do, and they seem to, you know, almost even when they won the league, it was a last second goal. You know what I mean? Which is great, but you shouldn't have been in that position in the first place. You should have battered QPR.
Yeah.
Should have done battered it. And I still think if you can get on top of them early, you've got a chance to put a couple past them.
I know we've seen what happened to their fans as well.
They're used to losing, and they've seen their team be proper crap. And there's always this, there's the typical City that they all say, and you know, oh, that's just typical City that, you know, trust us when we're meant to be winning, we lose and blah 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 blah. I think if you can get on top of them and you can score early, you've got a chance to put a few past them.
I want us to empty their half of Wembley Stadium by 60 minutes of this match. That's what our aim should be. Because you're right.
We've already filled it.
Well, yeah. We get a couple of goals early on that game. I think you're dead right. I think that's it. The mentality of their fan base, it's Evertonian-esque at times in that regard. And I think a lot of them will lose their heads, and that feeds onto the pitch and stuff. So I absolutely agree with that. So I want to know, obviously, as we've kind of sort of alluded to already, we are filming this a few days before the game, so we don't know specifically any injuries or whatever yet. But I still want people to put themselves on the line regardless and pick a potential man of the match for Liverpool, or who do we think is going to be the most important player on the pitch for the Reds on the day, Aubrey?
I'm going to really go for it then. The most dangerous pick that I think you can go.
Flanagan!
Yeah. He's not even registered. Yeah. Grugic. No, Sturridge.
Yeah.
I think if he wants to be the big man at Liverpool, which he so desperately wants to be, and he hasn't had the chance because Suarez was there and because of injuries, he's been denied it. This is the time for him to come out there and, you know, score goals in cup finals. All great Liverpool strikers that we remember, we look back on, have got those records. You know, Rush, Fowler, etc. You know, they all did it.
Even Owen.
Oh yeah, no, you know, at the time you go to your main men. If he gets two against the former club that, you know, he left quite unceremoniously, announces himself on the stage and just says, "I'm back, I'm here, don't forget about me." So I'm hoping he gets one or two, plays really well, runs that defence ragged, and he's our man of the match.
I think for Liverpool to win, Coutinho needs to play well. And historically he has done against City. 4 goals against them he scored. A couple of, you know, the one obviously that we thought might have won us the league at the time. The beauty against Joe Hart, you know, the curl and the win, and obviously the couple of, he got a few, didn't he, in the league game, and even Firmino just, he couldn't cope. So it's about, I agree with all. Big Liverpool players performing big finals. That's what they do. Yeah. And at the moment, I still think Dan Sturridge is our best player, but we don't rely on him because he's made of chocolate or cheese or whatever, he just breaks. But if Coutinho wants to be the main man, which he is, you know, and he should be, and he should want to be, then go and win Liverpool a cup final. So that's what big players do. Steven Gerrard won his cup finals, and he's not here no more. Someone's got to step in. Let's make it the Coutinho. That's what he should be thinking.
I can make this a final.
Yeah. I'd just like to be different, and I'm going to go with James Milner against his former club. I think, you know, we've seen over the last couple of weeks that he started putting in some really good performances. I think the Man City's concentration could be on Coutinho and Sturridge, and I think Milner might do something because of that. And, you know, I think from a track and back point of view, I think he'll be massively important as well. On a big pitch as well, he'll run around. He is one of our genuine winners in that squad as well. You know, he's won leagues, he's won cups and stuff, and I think it's him, and it's his time to step up and prove to the rest of the squad why he was brought in. Well, he's going to be one of only potentially 2 players in our matchday squad who's actually won the League Cup as well, which I think is important. And again, his role in that win at the Etihad was really underrated. The amount of work he put in down the left-hand side at times as well. So no, I agree with that. I think it's one of those. For the Milner thing, I think applies to Henderson as well. I think our midfield, we haven't seen enough. Just I don't know how to explain it, but it's that is what we haven't. The Henderson thing is when Gerrard used to go up against Vieira or Keane, and you go out there and prove that you're now the number 1 centre mid, and that's almost what you want Henderson to do against the likes of fucking Toure.
Going back to Milner, he's sneakily he's scoring goals. From obviously he was playing left and he was scoring goals, and he's gone back into the with the, you know, Sturridge and obviously Firmino's drop back one, Milner's drop back one, and he's sneakily scoring goals now. And for that, we need that from our midfield for the rest of the season. You need someone to chip in. We've been saying that every time we come on this, we don't score enough goals. So, and his set pieces are improving. We're still not great at them, but the free kick against Villa, for example, that goes straight in. I know it went straight in. It was bad defending, but it's a good ball, and that can help us because at City aren't great. We're terrible at defending them, but they're not good at them either.
I think the one for me is Firmino.
Yeah.
That was his first real big performance against City earlier on in the season, and I've said it time and time again. Hopefully it'll change if we've got more and better players around him. It won't be as reliant on him, but if he turns up, since the turn of the year, if he turns up, Liverpool play really well, and if he doesn't, we don't play as well. And exactly what, to echo everything that's been said already, big stage, first real opportunity for him to showcase his talent a bit as well.
And he's going to be our most expensive player on the pitch, I think. Cause
absolutely.
He's not going to start.
I hope it's all of them. I hope they all turn up.
No, completely agree with that. Score predictions then, Aubrey, what do you think it's going to be?
2-1 to us.
Okay.
3-1.
4-1 Liverpool.
Get out. We're going to. I think
why the fuck not?
I think we're going to win it on pens.
Nice.
Yeah, because we do. That's how it happens.
I'd take
Although I
that.
would like a nice 2003 style rock up, score a bit.
Kind of like Colo to get the winning pen, because he's not someone that you want. When we were talking before about a cool head on a penalty,
no.
Colo's not that man, but he could just do it. He could do something mad.
Remember that 15 pens or something against Middlesbrough? It was amazing. He broke the net. Yeah. I'd fancy us on pens actually if it goes to pens.
Yeah, exactly. We're Liverpool and we've got a German manager. It all favours. You think it would favour us? Like
Didn't Chan miss one for us? Though?
Chan missed.
No, I know, but
yeah, but to be fair, the one before he Panenka. So he's entitled to miss one. If you score a Panenka, that buys you 5 misses.
Great. Okay, then let us know your thoughts. Who do you think are going to be the most important men for Liverpool on the pitch? And give us your score predictions in the comments section underneath. Don't forget to go and check out our top 10 League Cup heroes video that we've done looking at the Liverpool players who've excelled themselves in this competition over the years. It's boss. There's loads of brilliant build-up content as well on the YouTube channel and on the redmentv.com. Watch it all. Get fired up. Be happy. And if you're going to Wembley, we'll see you there on Sunday. Cheers. At 9, with 3 League Cups to his name, 9 goals in 29 League Cup appearances and a goal in the 2003 final against Manchester United, it's Steven Gerrard.